both Bruce Wayne and Batman. Not because I have to be. No. Because I choose to be.
Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are watching Batman Forever from 1995, directed by Joel Schumacher. So, Bill, what did you think of Batman Forever?
Well, I always thought this was the second best of that era of Batman movies, and I stand by that.
I like Batman Forever a lot.
Really? Tell me.
And maybe it's just because it's probably the Batman movie I've seen the most. It came out like right at a good time when I was a good age. Like, I don't know. I really like Batman Forever. I had those McDonald's glasses. I remember the toys. And honestly, I think Val Kilmer is a real understated Batman. He's really good as Batman. I wish he did more as Batman.
It certainly would have been better than George Clooney.
Yeah.
And then George Clooney's the one that came back. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know, but
the movie right now is, it's celebrating its 30th anniversary, but unfortunately it's now a bittersweet anniversary. What with the recent passing of Val Kilmer.
yeah.
It's very sad.
Yeah. I don't know. Val Kilmer as Batman is great. In fact, like, maybe it's just the way he talks in this movie or something, but, like, he reminds me a lot of, like, Batman the Animated Series Batman a little bit in this movie.
You need help, Harvey. Give it up. If Bruce Wayne could have given his life for your family, he would have.
Compared to the Burton ones, it's, albeit the more Silver Age 1950s era, but feels more classic Batman.
Yeah.
It's very much a response to the reaction of Batman Returns, which was really weird and strange, and a lot of people didn't like it, and I understand why.
And it doesn't have a lot of Batman in it either.
That's also a problem.
Yeah.
But this movie, Batman's in it.
Yeah.
We get him in the first second, because get the credits, and then Batman's suiting up, going to adventure.
Yeah. I like the, Batman and Alfred dynamic in this, where he's just like, "Sir, do you want a sandwich?" He's like, "I'll get drive-through." Like,
It's a funny moment, but that's just there for the McDonald's commercial.
it sure is. I mean, this movie is nothing but product placement in some ways. I mean, at least with my childhood, like I said, McDonald's, Batman Forever glasses, which I still have.
I had Batman Forever toys as a kid. Only a few, like the sonar suit Batman with the jetpack, the costume change Batman and Robin, Two-Face, and the 3-in-1 Batmobile, Batboat, and Batwing.
Yeah.
Which is honestly a really awesome toy from back then, because you had all the Bat vehicles in one go.
Yeah.
When you're like 9 years old, it's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. One thing about, like, these Batman movies, and I don't know if it was, like, true, but, like, I feel like just in general, like, with the 4 Batman movies from, like, the 90s, they feel like they very much are, like, stunt casting movies in a weird way.
100%. Jim Carrey was like the hottest thing in the world at this point in time.
Yeah.
He was on fire. He had just did Ace Ventura. The Mask came out like the year before this. He was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. I mean, I like Jim Carrey Riddler. He's, like, so ridiculous, though.
This is my brain on the box. Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
It's kind of hilarious. It's just like, Jim Carrey plays a wacky villain, and that's why he's Dr. Robotnik in 3 movies.
Yeah, I imagine that you don't get that Robotnik without getting this Riddler first.
Yeah.
So kids, if you like Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic movies, you might like this version of the Riddler, especially if the new one gives you nightmares and scares you.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's true. But yeah. Also, Tommy Lee Jones, so incredibly silly in this movie.
Maybe a little too silly.
Yeah, I mean, all the scenes of, like, Riddler and, like, Two-Face kind of, like hugging each other and, like...
Which is funny when you realize what behind the scenes.
Oh, they hated each other?
Well, I'm sure they were very civil on set, but apparently Jim Carrey has told this story. During the production, Jim Carrey ran into Tommy Lee Jones at some restaurant, went over and said hi, and then Tommy Lee Jones was just like, and stood up and and was just like, "I cannot sanction your buffoonery."
Oh, man.
It's like, oh, jeez.
Wow. That's disappointing. It seemed like he was a pretty good sport in the movie, but I guess that was just acting.
Yes.
Yeah. But wow. But yeah, I don't know. I like Jim Carrey Riddler. It is so incredibly over the top though.
Oh, it's the Frank Gorshin Riddler just turned up to 11
Yeah.
pretty much.
He's got like so many different little outfits too.
He really does.
Like-
You got the weird neon jacket he has for like 40 seconds, if even that.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I like the way he first appears as the Riddler, where he's like wearing like pretty much what was in the, Riddler fortune teller machine he had.
Yeah, that thing raises a lot of questions, that machine.
Yeah,
And the little bobbleheads. Is there just a Riddler character he ripped off?
pretty much.
Is this like if somebody dressed like the actual Riddler in real life and just started committing crimes? And we'd be like, yeah, I guess the Riddler's real now? Is that what happened in universe?
Yeah. I mean, like, his whole plan is like, he's like stealing people's knowledge to like, get even with Bruce Wayne.
Well, to get smarter too. And
Yeah.
he hates Bruce Wayne. He's obsessed with him. There's that really funny scene where he dresses just like him.
Yeah.
Matches the hair and the glasses, has a fake mole.
Yeah. Yeah, like, out of all his outfits, though, like, each one just kind of gets, like, more and more elaborate until, like, I don't know, his, like, final one is just, like, crazy looking. He's wearing, like, a white suit with question marks, and his hair is all insane looking.
And it's like bedazzled or
Yeah.
sparkly or something.
so many sequins. I mean, he has, like, even another version of him wearing, like, the, suit jacket, but, like, it's all sparkly, too. And I guess that's
the neon one, the flashing lights and stuff.
Yeah, and I guess that's supposed to represent like him and Two-Face are stealing more and more money, and his, outfits just get crazier and crazier as the movie goes.
And then he also just has like spandex.
Yeah, and that's kind of like in the Batman 1966 show where
Yeah.
Riddler looked cool in the suit, but then he would just wear like the spandex, and you're like, why is he wearing that?
And Two-Face has like one or two variants, but you don't really notice them except for the Ringmaster outfit.
Yeah, that's true. I can admire this version of Two-Face. I mean, yeah, he doesn't actually, like, they don't really go into, like, his backstory or anything, but, like...
We get like 6 seconds of a news clip.
Yeah, but he has, like, the dedication to the gimmick where he has the, like, nice side of his house and then, like, the, like, weird side of his house, and then he has, like, the two girls, like, the one girl's wearing, like, all white and stuff, and the other girl's, like, all, like, I guess, like, demon-looking
Oh, you
or
got
whatever.
like, she's like punk rock, the other
Yeah.
girl's like classy. He's in some kind of throuple situation
Yeah, I
there.
mean, it's like, okay.
He's got some kind of split personality. Like, they literally emphasize, like, he constantly refers to himself in the third person.
Yeah, and I can respect that Two-Face has henchmen, and I guess that's one thing I can say about these older Batman movies is villains with henchmen and gimmicks. Like, even his henchmen have, like, weird, like, split masks, which I'm, like, kind of like, those guys could be Deathstroke henchmen, technically.
But they're like the purple, so they kind of match his weird
Yeah.
purple skin. If they were orange, that's a Deathstroke
That's
henchman.
true. Yeah, and then, like, this movie, the way Two-Face is introduced, it's almost, like, slightly serious at the beginning, but then, like, it just goes full ridiculous with this daring nighttime robbery of a bank.
But it was
Like,
all just a ploy to try to kill Batman.
yeah. She just wants to kill Batman. They never really give you a reason except for Batman stops his crimes, and that's why he wants to kill Batman, because he just loves doing crime.
Well, we know that he's robbing the second Bank of Gotham on the second anniversary of the day Batman captured him.
Okay.
You might also blame Batman for the accident, because Batman was there and just didn't stop the acid in time.
That is true, and that scene looks absolutely ridiculous where, like, Batman is in, like, a courtroom in the middle of the day, and it's like, oh, no!
He's like jumping from like the audience box or
Yeah,
something.
it's-
That is so weird.
It's like Batman was just, like, sitting there, like,
I guess.
yeah. Him and Commissioner Gordon just being like, yeah, you want to sit in on the case? It's like, I call Batman to the stand. It's just like, this insane person. Like, I do love how there's more, emphasis in this movie about, like, maybe Batman is crazy. Like,
I killed him. What did you say?
then again,
He's got like repressed memories.
yeah. We get the psychologist girl, Chase Meridian, played by Nicole Kidman, star of famous AMC commercial. But this is before that.
Batman's banging Aquaman's mom to boot.
Oh, yeah. Huh. It's funny, too, because it's like she's like a psychologist, but like also crazy, I think.
she's into bad boys.
Yeah, I
and they don't
guess
get
so.
badder than Batman.
That's true.
Literally, the second he swoops down, she's just like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like, they get Batman's classic weakness pretty right in this movie. A girl likes me, I'm gonna drop everything now. It's like, I'm done being Batman. Like, I'm good.
He also like threatens like, "I'm gonna quit being Batman so I don't let you become Robin, Dick."
Yeah,
Because this movie also famously introduces Dick Grayson to the franchise.
that's right. This adult man that Bruce Wayne needs to take in.
Now, to be fair, the character I think he's talked about like he's a minor. I think he's supposed to be like 16, 17.
They say college, though.
Well, he says like, "How about Dick Grayson College?" Because he's probably a senior in high school if he's 17.
Okay.
Or at least equivalent because he's a circus boy.
Yeah.
But like, he's talking about like social services and stuff like that. You'd only, if he was just some adult man whose family got killed at the circus, he'd be like, "Oh, that sucks," and just leave with the circus. But if he's a minor, yeah, he's in the system now.
I guess that's true. So I guess, like,
But-
at the most, he's supposed to be 17.
Yeah,
So.
at the most. It's clunky because like Chris O'Donnell's 20-something, but it was the style at the time. You get a
Sure.
25-year-old to play a 14-year-old. It's what they did,
Yeah.
and sometimes still do.
Yeah.
Like those Joe Mungie movies, and I found out the one kid's like he's older than us.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the black kid.
Oh my god, he's like 45.
Because I was having a conversation about that movie. I'm like, are they ever gonna make that? If they ever make that third one, like it might be too late. I think all those kids are like 30 now. And then I was looking at their ages, and I was like, oh my god, this guy's like 38.
Oh man. Whoops.
So it still happens.
Yeah. Guess that's true.
It's not. I mean, I know not everyone likes the show, and I understand. But in Titans, for the flashbacks, they get a kid.
Yeah.
They get a kid for the Robin origin story parts.
Which is good.
I do like the creative choice of the Flying Graysons inspiring the Robin outfit. I think that was neat.
Yeah. That works, I think like Robin in the movie is just kind of odd. I mean, I still think it's fine, but it is like just like a weird like aside in the movie where it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, like Robin's here too.
Well, they've been trying to introduce him as far back as Batman '89, but they just kept cutting him out.
Yeah.
They went as far as casting one of the Wayans brothers. Remember?
Yeah.
That guy still gets money.
It's insane.
He only got as far as like a costume fitting. I still would love to see what that suit looked like.
Yeah, that would have been very interesting to see what Tim Burton's version of Robin would have been like.
I really would just like to see what it would have looked like.
Yeah.
I would love for that picture to come out. Like how we finally got to see the various Nick Cage Superman suits.
Yeah.
It was like, oh wow, neat.
Yeah. They're interesting.
Yeah. Come on, Wayne's brother, or whichever one you are. Sorry, I don't remember your name. I should have looked it up.
Yeah.
But do you have it? Post that shit.
I doubt he would have it. But
Shit, I'd keep that. Why wouldn't you? It's like, yo, man, I was almost Robin. Check it out.
look at this crazy suit.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the nipple suit, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it is, you do notice it immediately if you're looking for it, where
Yeah.
Batman does have nipples.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Even though the next movie is the one that's really remembered for it.
Yeah.
But they're here. They're here.
Yeah, they're on the suit.
Yeah.
At least the first suit. They're not on the sonar suit.
No,
I
because
think.
the symbol is too big. It covers up the
Yeah.
pecs.
I don't think that... Does the Robin suit have nipples?
It does.
Okay, because, like, I do like the Robin suit a lot. Like, it looks pretty good.
Nipples aside, it's a pretty good version of the modern Robin suit.
Yeah.
It's a good take on it.
Yeah.
It also kind of introduced the idea of like Robin having the Batman gauntlets,
Yeah.
which I never saw before this.
Which is cool, Makes sense.
I wish we would have gotten more of this suit, just because it's gone after this movie, because they go to that stupid Nightwing looking suit in the next one.
Sure. They even, like, say, like, what are you going to call yourself? And he even says, like, Nightwing at one point.
That's what's known as an Easter egg, kids.
Yeah. I was just like, huh.
That's what we got back in the day. A Nightwing name drop and a Metropolis name drop.
Sure. And in the next movie, we get a Superman name drop.
Yes.
But,
Less said about that movie, the better.
yeah.
But it's worth talking about because of how dumb it is.
Yeah. But yeah, Chris O'Donnell, as Robin, he really has, like, the one, like, big scene. Well, I guess he has two, but, like, the scene at the end I always remember where, like, he's in the water and he's like, holy rusted metal, Batman. And he's like, what? And he's like, metal, it's rusted and it has holes in it.
Awkward shout out to 60s show, Batman.
Yeah. Kind of funny. These movies are kind of like campy and
Yeah.
like they have like weird jokes like that.
It was very much a mandate. The last one was too weird and creepy. Make it fun.
Yeah,
Make it silly. Then they took it way too far, the next one.
they sure did. But we're not quite there yet.
No.
I mean, you know, we got Riddler busting into the Batcave. I guess like everybody, Two-Face knows Bruce Wayne's Batman. Riddler knows, you know, he's Batman. They blow up everything. They blow up the cool Batmobile.
I always thought that was neat that the villains got into the Batcave and wrecked everything.
Yeah.
Thought that was cool. And yeah, they blew up that Batmobile. That was later defiled by Drew Carey.
Oh, is that the one he had in the show?
Yeah. There's an episode of the Drew Carey show where he wins the Batmobile, and it's the Batman Forever Batmobile, and he's driving around having fun, and then he has sex with his current love interest in it and gets it taken away from him on some kind of like sanctity clause or something.
Oh, man. That was a good show.
It's getting a complete series release, apparently.
Good. It's about freaking time.
Yeah, I think it's just DVD, but you know,
Whatever.
you can own the show
Yeah.
soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the Batman Forever Batmobile. Maybe it's just because it's like blue and black,
There's
but I
some-
really like it.
There's some weird things because like you only see it like once or twice, but it's got like that middle tail fin, but it can like open up apparently. And there's like a couple random shots where it's just like open and then it's just closed in the next shot.
I don't know, you know, that's one thing like that just is cool. It's just like the Batmobile design in this, and then we get to see like the Batplane and the Batboat, and they all have like that similar aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like this definitely, you know, more I guess with this movie sequel, but like, you know, it definitely was like buy the toy.
Oh, I mean the boat and the plane are literally just there to sell toys because they don't do shit.
Yeah.
They get shot down almost immediately.
Yeah.
But they look cool.
Yeah.
And they were fun toys.
There you go.
It's a little Hot Wheel, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good solid Batwing. It's probably the second best one we've got.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, you know, I always think of this movie as, like, the sequel to Batman Returns. At least I did when I was a kid. But,
It
like,
sort of is.
It is, but, like, it isn't, though. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the recast, the different tone, the new direction, the whole world looks so different.
Yeah.
But then there's, like, the few things that connect it. The same Alfred, the same Gordon, the fact that they explicitly reference Catwoman.
You like strong women. I've done my homework. Or do I need skin-tight vinyl and a whip?
Yeah. It's weird, too, because, like, one thing I'm trying to remember is, you know, I noticed in this movie, and maybe the Tim Burton movies had it, too, but, like, I don't really remember. It's, like, you know, everybody's kind of driving, like, sort of, like, retro cars, like, in, like, Batman the Animated Series.
We don't really see much of that.
Yeah.
We get, like, one shot of Bruce Wayne getting out of a car in, like, a regular city street. The rest of it's all just, like, weird cop cars and weird Two-Face cars chasing the Batmobile.
Yeah, but like it just seemed like it kind of had that like Batman the Animated Series like sort of aesthetic. It definitely has its own thing going on with like, you know, like I don't know,
Neon. Lots and lots and lots of neon.
well, neon and also like gigantic like statues.
Yeah, true, that
like,
too. Even more of that in the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah, all male statues too, which
Well,
I know why. I mean, hey, he got away with it. It's fine. You know, gratuitous butt shot of Batman insert here.
yeah, I always thought it was in the beginning too, but it's in the sonar. It's only in the sonar suit up.
Yeah, you
then
just get the crotch shot at the beginning.
Yeah, though they got the butt shots in the beginning of Batman and Robin, I believe.
They did.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny. Like, it's just like, all right, whatever.
you know, it's funny. Like once, like, and this is kind of going off kilter a little. Like I was just like, yeah, it's the third one. Don't worry about it. Shut up. Who cares? But now because of the whole like all the multiverse shenanigans and the fact that Keaton came back, and I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's its own thing. But there's a plus side to that. Even though she's gone in the next movie, and it's like, oh, they broke up, but that Batman's George Clooney. So now in my brain, I'm like, you know what? Val Kilmer Batman, everything worked out for him. Him
Yeah.
and Chase, they figured it out. They got together. They stayed together. That's how I'm going to look at it from now on, because I can
Yeah.
Thanks to the multiverse.
Yeah, that's
Thanks,
true.
thanks to all that multiverse nonsense and shenanigans.
Yeah. Seriously.
It kind of changes how you look at these movies now.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he still kind of has that vague history of the Burton Batman because it's only talked about a little bit in the theatrical cut. But this Batman is kind of rectifying with the fact that, shit, dude, I killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of this movie is when he is a monologue he has to Dick, where he's like,
You make the kill, but your pain doesn't die with Harvey, it grows. So you run out into the night to find another face, and another, and another. Until one terrible morning you wake up and realize that revenge has become your whole life. And you won't know why.
Yeah. I guess that's one interesting thing about this Batman. It's like he does acknowledge the fact that he accidentally became Murder Man.
not even, no, he's okay with it still.
Yeah, I guess he is. Yeah, I
does-
mean, he doesn't kill that many people in this movie.
He kills one guy,
That's true.
Two-Face.
Does he kill him, or does he just let
He
Two-Face
threw those
fall?
coins. He knew what was going to happen.
That's true.
What else was going to happen?
Yeah, I guess.
And he made no attempt to catch him.
I guess it's just like I didn't kill him. The fire did, but you lit the match. It's just like yeah, but you know he wasn't in the part of the building that I lit the match in.
It's like, I threw all those coins. Yeah, but then he fell. It's like, yeah, to his death. It's like, you could have caught him, you know.
I could have done a lot of things.
I ran out of grapples.
It's true.
You almost expect Robin to be like, oh, so it's okay if you do it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes, only me, Robin.
Yeah, it's like I took your revenge for you.
That way you don't have to.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but isn't Dick Grayson's parents usually killed by like mobsters, like
Yes.
the Falcones or something?
Boss Zuko, Tony Zuko is usually
Tony
the guy.
Zuko. Yeah.
It's usually him that does it.
Okay, yeah, because that's how it is in the animated series,
Yeah,
right?
The animated series. Very faithful. Go
Yeah.
figure.
They went for it. And
He has a brother for some reason.
he does have a brother.
For no real reason.
Yeah,
Just because someone was like, hey, you should have a brother.
yeah. Just make it extra worse.
Yeah, just make
Yeah.
it hurt more.
Yeah.
Just another beloved family member that he'll never see again because they went splat.
Seriously, it is interesting how Dick Grayson in this movie is like literally like about to just like peace out and just be like, yeah, thanks for getting me out of like the system, Bruce Wayne, but I'm leaving. And then like Bruce Wayne's like, oh, let's go to my garage and fill your bike up with gas. And then it's like, look at all these neat cars you can play with and motorcycles.
like-
And he's like, you know what, maybe I might stay.
It's like, living in a mansion has its perks.
Yeah. It's just like, is that a restaurant style burger with onion rings on it? Okay. Alfred's like, I guess I'll just throw this out.
And give it to the dogs.
Yeah,
Bad things would have happened to him otherwise.
that's true.
He's still a dumb kid.
Yeah, I mean, the way he discovers the Batcave is kind of fun,
Yeah.
with like Alfred being like, that's the silver closet. And he's just like, I gotta see what's in that closet.
I like the joke he makes before that. What's in there? Master Wayne's dead wives.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good too. It's a very Alfred line, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I do love that he doesn't like sneak into the Batcave all dramatic. He just falls down some stairs. I like that. That's just fun to
yeah.
me.
I do like it when Alfred has that attitude of like, he'll help Bruce do whatever he wants because like, he loves him and stuff, but like, he hates when he's like being Batman. Like, I always want to see like that line from like The Dark Knight Returns where, Commissioner Gordon calls like Wayne Manor and Alfred answers the phone and he's just like, Wayne Infirmary. Like, just like bandaging him up and it's just like, look at what you're doing to yourself, you freaking idiot. But yeah,
Yeah.
Alfred's pretty good though in this movie.
Oh, yeah. I like Michael Goldford. He's got some good stuff in this movie. Good moments with Dick Grayson. Good moments with Bruce.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I like Batman Forever. It's just, it's silly. I don't think it's like bad though.
No, I stand by this movie. It disappoints me when people lump it in with Batman and Robin
Yeah,
because this movie was a hit.
yeah,
This was a hit movie. This was popular. People liked it.
yeah,
I still like it, and I'll always like it.
yeah. And there's silly moments, but like is also some like cool parts of it. Like Batman does like get to like fight and punch people in the movie and stuff.
Yeah,
And
there's some fun moments with that.
yeah, and like just the vehicles in general just look cool. I mean, they're not in that much of the movie, but they look cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's some moments of like, ooh, mid-90s CGI, not always the best.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Use sparingly, though.
No, not a lot, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
I would say overall, like, most of the visual effects in this movie actually still do look pretty good.
Because it's mostly models and stuff.
Yeah, I would say maybe, like, some of, like, the Riddler stuff towards the end with his, like, face morphing looks
Yeah.
kind of weird.
That looks wonky, but that effect is always wonky. That's
Yeah.
never good. There's a shot of the Batwing flying out of the Batcave that looks weird, especially when like the tail fin seems to be missing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah.
But when it's just like the model of the Batwing, it looks good.
Yeah.
And when it's just like a bat boat just cruising in water, looks fine.
Yeah.
There's no awkward effects with the bat boat. It generally looks okay. There's like one or two shots where it just makes me think of my old toy.
Yeah.
I do kind of like that they're playing Battleship. It's so dumb, but I like it.
Yeah. You know, Riddler and Two-Face, they're pretty fun. I mean, I just think of that line and I forgot what it's from, but it's like some show where they're like doing a shooting gallery. It might have even been the Venture Brothers, and it's just like, why'd you shoot that guy? It's like he had punctuation on his suit. It's just like, but yeah, it's just like the Riddler punctuation on the suit.
Should we talk about the fabled Schumacher cut now?
I don't know that much about this, but this is like a relatively recent thing.
Well, it's something I've kind of known about for a while because
Yeah.
it was kind of bubbling under the surface. The whole, I guess the stuff with like the Snyder cut and stuff kind of boosted it a bit. But there was like an early cut of the movie which had some deleted scenes, some of which you can find online because they released some of the DVD. There's some stuff that I don't think they have
I
released.
know the thing with like the bat. That's like one of the deleted scenes.
Do you know the context of the bat?
I don't.
So, in his like repressed memories, we have yet to see this snippet, but I guess when he was talking to Chase, he's like, I read in the journal about how I wanted to go to the movie that night, and I was like, oh no, it's all my fault. But then after he gets shot in the head, and this thing you can watch, he wakes up, he has amnesia. He doesn't remember being Batman, but he remembers being Bruce Wayne. Then he goes to like the depths of the Batcave, far away from everything, and he finds the book. He finds that diary. And he picks it up, and he sees there was more written there. That he's like, Bruce really wants to go to the movies tonight, but his cartoon will have to wait. Me and Martha want to go see Zorro. So he's like, it's not my fault. It's my parents' fault.
Oh no.
And then he has the sort of thing with the bat, which is like symbolic of him re-embracing Batman and him and Bruce Wayne becoming one and the same.
Okay.
And he comes out kind of with a smile and be like, I'm Batman, Alfred. And then it goes from there. And like, there's like other stuff too, like some stuff is in a different order. Like famously, the movie was originally going to open with the Dr. Burton, guess who he's modeled after, finding Two-Face's cell empty with "The Bat Must Die" written on the wall.
Okay.
And it was going to open with Bruce talking to Edward Nygma in that office. And the bat signal wasn't going to be the Chase Meridian trying to flirt with him. It was going to be the opening action scene.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna lie, just going right to the action scenes, the stronger way to open the movie.
Yeah.
If Joel Schumacher was alive and he got to make like a proper new cut of the movie, he'd probably leave it the way that part the way it is,
Yeah.
and just reinsert like the more psychological stuff from later in the movie.
Yeah. That stuff's pretty good, you know, like
And we do know there is a cut that it's out there. Some people have it. It's not been released into the ether.
Kevin
See,
Smith apparently showed it at his theater or
a few
something.
times apparently.
Yeah.
So like, it will end up in someone's hands that just releases it to the convention circuit, like the Fantastic Four and all them.
Yeah.
It's honestly inevitable at this point because
Okay.
if somebody has a copy of it, it'll eventually it'll be out there. But obviously, people would prefer the polished version.
Yeah.
But you know, can you really call it the Schumacher cut if Schumacher's not here to make the cut?
Yeah. And like I don't know, like I would assume he cut this movie, you know. or
Yeah, but
maybe the studio had like a lot of notes where they're like, take that part out.
it's like the movie's got to be 2 hours. Keep it tight.
Yeah.
And it's 2 hours. They kept it tight. Was there stuff you probably would have left in? Probably.
Yeah. I mean, we get a lot of that duality of like Bruce Wayne and Batman, and like the whole like thing with like Chase and Batman, and you know the one scene where like she's just like, I thought I really liked you, Batman, but I like somebody else. The Batman's like, I understand, and then he turns away and smiles, and he's
Yeah.
just like, I'm like, that's a nice moment. It's like, all right,
And the whole like subplot with them is like Bruce is kind of in love with her, but she's mostly got eyes for Batman. And then Superman pops up and like, ha! Now you know how it feels like, sucker.
yeah. Doesn't feel so good, does it? It's like, get out of here, you jerk.
Because before they eventually tied the knot, that was the Lois Lane Superman dynamic forever.
Yeah.
Clark was in love with her, but she only had eyes for Superman and saw right past Clark.
Yeah, and now it's kind of opposite. Like, at least with like the modern interpretations. Either that or they just immediately get together in the modern interpretations.
It depends.
Yeah.
It seems like they got together pretty quickly in the Superman and Lois continuity.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen in the new movie.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We'll see. But, yeah, But I don't know what else I can say about Batman Forever except it's really good.
I generally like it. I got some nostalgic fondness, I'm not going to lie, but I think it still generally holds up. Jim Carrey's entertaining, some solid action. This is the family-friendly, more or less, mostly family-friendly Batman movie.
Mostly.
It's got a random appearance by Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
She's just randomly in this movie.
We've got a few, like, sort of inappropriate jokes, like,
Yeah.
towards the end, but,
Yeah.
like, that's about it.
This movie treats Commissioner Gordon a little bit better than Batman Returns.
That's true.
So there's that.
Yeah.
It almost looks like they're dynamic, but not quite.
A little bit, yeah.
It's closer. They interact more,
That's true.
a bit more, just a
Yeah.
little bit.
A little bit more.
And actually, I feel like he interacts more with Bruce Wayne in this one.
Yeah, he probably does, honestly. Like, especially at the circus and stuff, so.
Now, I do like the final shot of Batman and Robin with Bat Signal running to the camera.
Yeah.
Very homage to 1966 Batman. Though there is a alternate shot that I would love to see like an HD version of, just because I know people would do cool things with it, of just them on the roof
Okay.
with the caves billowing. I'm like, ooh, I would like to see that.
That is kind of cool.
Because it's on like a blue screen. So people have fun with that.
Yeah. But,
Release that. If you're not going to release the Schumacher cut, release that in HD.
yeah, high quality shot of that.
Yeah, so that we can have some fun with it.
Yeah. It's pretty good. But yeah, overall, Batman Forever is really good.
Yeah,
Like,
like I said, it's my second favorite Batman movie this era.
yeah.
Granted, there's a 4 Batman movies that have eclipsed it. The Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman. But
Yeah.
hey, it'll always be better than Batman and Robin and Batman Returns.
Yeah. And I think Val Kilmer is an underrated Batman. I think he's really good in the role.
Yeah, it would have been
Like-
it would have been cool if he came back, but I know him and Schumacher apparently didn't get along. I think there was a scheduling thing too. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of reasons why he didn't come back.
Yeah.
But you know what? If he came back and it was still just Batman and Robin, it would have hurt his career.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's probably better off for having not done Batman and Robin.
yeah.
I mean, that she was
sure.
like, ooh, dodged the bullet there.
Seriously. But,
Yeah. Rest in peace, Caped Crusader.
yep.
Sad to have lost another one.
Yeah. Well, and with that being said, I guess that's the Out of Touch podcast. Go watch Batman Forever.
Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
Was that over the top?
I can never tell.